One day, the Buddha's disciple Ananda went out alone on alms round. The day was scorching hot, and after walking a long distance, he became very thirsty. He saw a house by the road and knocked on the door to ask for some water. The daughter of that household was named Matang Wang. When she saw Ananda's dignified appearance and pure demeanor, a powerful desire arose in her heart. She used a spell to bewilder him, and Ananda nearly lost his mindfulness. He almost had intercourse with her, which would have broken his monastic vows. At that very moment, the Buddha, perceiving what was happening, emitted a brilliant light and called Ananda's mind back. Ananda awoke as if from a dream, filled with remorse. He knelt before the Buddha, weeping, and said, "World-honored one, I thought my practice was already firm, yet I see now how strong the power of desire truly is." The Buddha looked at him with compassion and said, "Ananda, the fiercest fire in the world is not an outer flame. It is the fire of desire within the heart. It can burn away wisdom and cloud the mind. If one cannot master desire, it is like carrying a live ember in one's robe. Sooner or later, it will burn you." What the Buddha called right conduct regarding sensuality, or not engaging in sexual misconduct, does not refer only to relations between men and women. It points to the restraint of all the senses. The word improper means anything excessive, unreasonable, or lacking in balance. Beyond immoral sexual acts, whenever we chase after sensory pleasure, eating, drinking, buying, watching, listening, playing, once it goes beyond moderation and the mind is carried away, that too is indulgence of the senses. In other words, abstaining from sexual misconduct is really about learning discipline. The greatest suffering does not come from having desires, but from being ruled by them. The Buddha taught precepts not to make us cold or emotionless, but to help us move from being slaves of desire to becoming masters of the mind. When one cannot control the senses, when one eats endlessly, shops compulsively, or cannot stop watching or seeking stimulation, then pleasure has already turned into bondage. So when we find that we cannot yet manage our desires, we must first learn to be our own physician, to observe our actions and our inner state. This is the true purpose of the precepts, to begin from outer restraint and gradually transform the heart within. Controlling one's behavior is much easier than eliminating desire directly. You can start simply by not acting on it, even if the impulse remains. Every time you choose not to act, you are generating energy. Discipline is a kind of strength. Each act of restraint adds a little more inner power. As this strength grows, it eventually becomes greater than desire itself. When that happens, you no longer need to fight desire. It naturally fades away. This is the subtle wisdom of the precepts. A precept is not repression. It is a way to cultivate greater inner strength. Desire is one kind of energy, and self-discipline is another. When self-discipline is practiced again and again, its energy accumulates day by day. One day, it will surpass desire, and the heart will return to stillness and peace. Thus, the true meaning of refraining from sexual misconduct is not merely purity of behavior, but the recovery of inner freedom. In Buddhism, a precept is a path of training the mind. It teaches moderation, awareness, and clarity even in the presence of desire. When you can live this way, you will discover that joy has not diminished at all. It has become deeper and more serene. For by then, happiness no longer depends on outer stimulation. It arises from the quiet strength and freedom of your own mind.